What up guys, it's Liam here, welcome back to another video, and today we're reacting to the Roast of 2024 by Stephen Tries. If you aren't familiar with the concept, Stephen recaps the year just gone by reminding us of the events of the year, and then making fun of them. He has done this kind of thing yearly since 2020, and I'm always there loving it. And just a reminder to all viewers watching that these are all jokes and none of it should actually be taken seriously. But before we get into the video, may I just ask you to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps out the channel. Now without further ado, let's get into it. Oh yeah, this video is also live for some reason, which is different to previous years because he always does it, like he always pre-records it and stuff.
Bring up to the stage, Stephen Tries! You filming now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, don't have to say sir in front of these. We're cool, we're chill, man. Hello and welcome to the Roast of 2024 live! Yeah! That's right.
Honestly, I actually kind of preferred it, like pre-recording and stuff. I don't know why.
We've got a live audience, so you'll know when to laugh now, won't you? Stupid f***ing viewers. As usual during the roast, I'll be giving money to charity. I'm good like that, alright?
Yeah.
Every time I tell a bad joke, I will put money into this bucket for a children's hospice. So if I'm dying, hopefully they're not.
Something he has done before actually, every time he made a joke about Prince Andrew. Something Stephen does a lot actually.
Yeah, quiet hands, Max, quiet hands. I'll get it rolling with that. £2. Let's begin. 2024. At the start of the year, Rishi Sunak was Prime Minister. Yep. Joe Biden was President.
Yes, he was.
And brain rot was just what me and the nurses called Michael Schumacher.
Like I said, great start. Already insulting Michael Schumacher, who had a horrible crash. I think it was like 2016 or something. It was a while ago.
It's for the kids, not you, Michael. January! Thank you. The year began with the birth of dart sensation Luke Littler. It was big news when the unseeded 16-year-old made it to the World Championship final. Whoop-de-doo, mate. Try being a comedian.
I don't think you see it often when Stephen laughs at his own jokes.
Try being a 23-year-old virgin. I go past a semi-see my nan's bra on the washing line. Talk about finishing double tops. No one of them?
No, not mate.
The camera work in this is actually quite cool. He's always pointing to one camera.
After 6 months,
and then there's just Max there with the drums.
Jordan Henderson swapped the Saudi league for the Dutch one, as he went from Ajax heads to just Ajax.
We're not even 2 minutes in and he's already just insulted a race car driver and an entire country. This man's amazing.
Elsewhere, Jeffrey Epstein's associates were revealed in court documents from a 2015 trial. The usual suspects, Donald Trump, Bill Clinton and Prince Andrew, were on there. But more surprisingly, so was Stephen Hawking. Strange! I thought the only thing disabled on the island was the CCTV. Elon Musk's company Neuralink implanted a brain computer into someone's head. Jamie Oliver was very outspoken about it, saying, "Putting chips in our body is very harmful."
Don't really get that one though. I don't pay attention to Jamie Oliver, so I probably won't.
Instead, I recommend trying my new honey roasted parsnips. Let's just get this out of the way now. That's done. February. At the beginning of February, King Charles was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. The poor bloke was really struggling to digest things like bread, soup, and his son marrying a black woman. Prince Andrew.
Apparently, from what I've seen the Sidemen say, apparently he like makes up like he's got pages and pages of notes, and it only takes him like an hour or something. But That's just how good he is at this stuff.
Andrew also felt a lump, but sadly he was just watching Cheaper by the Dozen.
Wait, go back. What was that?
Felt a lump. Prince Andrew also felt a lump, but sadly he was just watching Cheaper by the Dozen. Like Theo Baker's botched hair transplant, the UK entered a recession again. And to make matters worse, Rishi Sunak wanted to introduce national service with 18-year-olds doing a year of training in the army. Huh? Hey Rishi, if you want to see teenage privates, just ask Hugh Edwards. Got his ass.
Yep, he's not wrong there. The BBC presenter's been kicked out of the BBC because of that stuff.
Got his ass, man. After Kansas City won the Super Bowl, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce shared a passionate kiss on the field. A pop star hadn't had this much fun with a tight end since the days of Michael Jackson sleepovers.
He always comes up with like the most risque jokes, this guy. Like, Michael Jackson was supposedly a paedophile who sexually assaulted children. Supposedly, there was no proof, and then he died, so.
March, anyone? March! And not because it looks like a rally in here. In March, there were some serious allegations about P. Diddy, or as he's now known, P. Diddy. Producer Lil Rod accused him of groping him, forcing him to engage in sexual acts, and spiking guests in his home, including underage girls. It's absolutely shocking, isn't it? Awful. The mind boggles, it really does. Why would you call yourself Producer Little Rod? Well, are you a garden gnome? Or a flash with a micro penis? I don't know why I looked at you when I said that.
Not a producer.
Meanwhile in Glasgow...
Max is getting insulted as well.
A Willy Wonka experience made headlines for their shambolic attempt at creating an event. Visitors are paid good money, but were met with shoddy design, cheap props, and out-of-work actors. After a Photoshop scandal, there were rumours Kate Middleton was possibly missing, although she'd had a BBL. It turns out she was actually being treated for cancer. Another one? Another? What's happened to the royal family? Used to be the Tudors, not the Tumours. Yeah. Used to chop off heads, not uneven moles. Get a grip. Prince Andrew also noticed a swelling, but sadly he was just watching the second half of Benjamin Button. Yeah.
Well, that's more money to charity at the expense of Prince Andrew. He really makes so many jokes about paedophiles, this guy. Really
nice. They're good. In April, O.J. Simpson died. The NFL Hall of Famer was most famous for the time he destroyed the Browns by killing their beloved Nicole. That's a clever joke. It went over their heads. Google it. It's good. Her name was Nicole Brown. Oh, yeah.
He's making fun of the O.J. Simpson trial, basically. If you're unaware. Google it. Surprisingly, he got off, even though all the evidence pointed to him. So, it's a little bit questionable, but oh well.
The Baby Reindeer series was a massive hit on Netflix. The show is about a struggling comedian who always has a big boned head case lurking behind him.
Stephen.
Sounds familiar?
You bring me out for that one joke.
And after 352 days, the hardest geezer finally finished travelling the length of Africa.
Oh, yeah.
A runner hadn't been this exhausted since Philip Schofield discovered Viagra.
Ouch.
Losing energy, aren't they? In May, there was rap beef between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Kendrick alleged Drake was a paedophile, saying, trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor. It was a bit similar to the joke I did about Vic Star, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. But he makes a lot of jokes about Vic Star. Watch the Sidemen roast for that. There's something else I was going to say, but I forget.
A bit too similar for my liking, Kenny. And if there's one thing that's worse than a paedophile, it's a joke thief. Am I right, guys? Anyway, Kenneth, here are some of the jokes you could have had. Spitting a verse isn't the only time Drake nails a tight 16. Drake's the type of guy to message underage girls and blame it on his ghostwriter. It's light-hearted, that one, isn't it, really? Alleged comedian and sex offender Russell Brand was baptised in the River Thames to repent for his sins. Mind you, Jesus was...
You get a concussion instead, because apparently the River Thames is like the most polluted river in the world.
...nailed without consent. Now he's going to the River Thames to repent for his sins. Mind you, Jesus was nailed without consent. Now he's going to forgive you, you twat. And lastly, Donald Trump was found guilty of falsifying documents to conceal hush money payments to Stormy Daniels.
To who?
Amateur. I found the best way to keep a woman quiet during sex is by mistaking her belly button for a clitoris. Works every time.
I don't know why I'm trying to laugh. I don't understand it.
Yeah, we're back to form there. Justin Timberlake was caught drink driving. But on the plus side, his breathalyzer was the highest he'd charted for 15 years. Jay Slater went missing after getting lost in Tenerife. There wasn't much sympathy for Jay, as his history was about as good as his geography. He was found 29 days later, looking like something from 28 days later. The Hulk Tour girl went viral after saying she spits on a penis before a blowjob. She now has a sponsored podcast and over 2.6 million followers on Instagram. I mean, what's the point, really? I spend weeks writing this shit, and I could just go out there and say, I gob and a knob and do better.
Or spit on a clip.
Not impressed. Poor Stephen's not impressed, even though that was actually quite funny. We're here to love Max. Fuck that Stephen guy, we're here for Max.
If you ever take me on Instagram. Another video went viral when a female police officer was caught having sex with an inmate in Wandsworth Prison.
Oh yeah.
If she wanted to have sex within cells, then she could have fucked one of you lot. July! Yes! In July, a gunman tried to kill Donald Trump during a campaign speech, but hit him in the ear. It was the worst shot during a rally I'd ever seen, and I've lost a banter match to a female dwarf.
Ouch.
She was good. Yeah. Joe Biden pulled out of the presidential election and was replaced by Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
You can't replace an old white man with a black woman like it's some sort of Boots Christmas advert. England went into the Euros as favourites, but lost in the final to Spain. Many believe the man in charge was
Please, tread carefully. That could give me nightmares. No, that's a lie. It gave me depression for a week.
too conservative, but lost in the final to Spain. Many believe the man in charge was too conservative and didn't have an answer to the opposition's left wing.
He was not wrong. Gareth Southgate played it way too safe, and most of the matches were just so boring. Like in the knockout phase, I know this because I watched it all because I love football. In the knockout phase, we literally came back and won every time. We'd always go down 1-0 and then we'd come back and win 2-1. That happened in last 16, quarter final, semi final, and then it just calmer at the end. We went 1-0 down, Cole Palmer came back, and then we lost. I feel my depression coming back.
Wing satire, get ready for this. Speaking of which, Labour won the general election. Beautiful transition.
Yeah, even more depression.
Yeah, lovely.
Thanks, man.
Lovely.
Yeah, enough. Just like millions of homes in the UK over the last decade, the Tories were out of power. And good riddance. Just this year, they tried to make rough sleeping a finable offence, which is crazy, because lying in public is all those do. Nailed it.
That's good.
At the Olympics in Paris, there was controversy in the women's boxing after two fighters had high levels of testosterone.
I remember.
And since when did boxing care about chromosomes? Tommy Fury has an extra one and he's still allowed to fight.
Not wrong. That extra chromosome helped him beat KSI.
Nice. In August, there were far-right riots in Liverpool after a tragedy in Southport.
Yeah.
For me, it was really sad to
Apparently the guy might get off or something. I remember seeing somewhere in the news.
see. I mean, my nan was Scouse, and she wasn't racist, but she was a real grammar Nazi. And by that, I mean she put a question mark after Black Lives Matter.
Ouch!
Naughty nan. Tommy Fury lost a split decision when Molly May broke up with him for cheating on her. If only he pulled out as strangers like he did fights, then we wouldn't have this mess on our hands. Or lower back or chin, I don't know where the guy finishes. Jermaine Genius was sacked by the BBC for sexting female colleagues. He was just trying to secure that coin purse. And former England boss Steve McLaren was named the new manager of Jamaica. In his first press conference he said, "They are Stephen Tries fans." You know where that's going? Rah. Our team will play 4-3-3.
I thought that was coming. He was just gonna try and make a Jamaican accent.
With wings as tasty as the jerk chicken me mother makes.
It's pretty good to be fair.
But for the bad-minded blood carts out there, they want a little more respect for what I done in this game. World Cup soon come.
Good.
Thank you.
Very good.
Too much for the cheesemonger. Not mature enough. In September, Hugh Edwards was spared jail despite being found guilty of making indecent images of children. And the only time he wasn't looking at 5 to 7 years was when he got sentenced. P. Diddy's house was raided and they found thousands of dildos and bottles of lube. There was that much oil there, of course American forces were going to invade.
Wait, what?
There, of course America did, and they found thousands of dildos and bottles of lube. There was that much oil there, of course American forces were going to invade. Early 2007.
Quite too heavy-handed there, mate.
He's saying that the Americans invaded the Middle East for their oil.
You got that?
It's alright, I've got it.
Diddy was charged with sex trafficking and racketeering. Sex traffic? Talk about honk if you're horny. Guess which joke was wrote at 1 p.m. today. Phil Schofield returned to TV with a documentary about him going on holiday to an island. The show was called 15-Year-Old Son, Sex and Suspicious Parents. YouTubers Mr. Beast, Logan Paul and KSI. You haven't missed much, man. Actually, you'll love it. You'll love this one. It's cheese-based. YouTubers Mr. Beast, Logan Paul and KSI were criticised for their new food product, Lunchly, with some boxes containing mould. A couple of cheesy crackers and something past the best. Yeah, that sums those three up perfectly.
Yeah, not wrong. But yeah, there is like a lot of criticism for the Lunchy stuff. So it doesn't really feel right when Mr. Beast tries to promote it in his videos.
Got their ass. Elsewhere, young Philly was charged in Australia over sexual assault allegations.
Yeah.
If guilty, it would be the first time
No, now it's like drunk driving and speeding and stuff. I'm pretty sure.
he completes a sentence over sexual assault allegations. If guilty, it would be the first time he completes a sentence that wasn't repeating what Chunk said. Talk about a repeat offender, am I right? Lily Phillips slept with 100 men in a day. In a documentary, it was revealed Lily has 9 members of staff. Well, she better get used to having AIDS around. And lastly, former Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein was diagnosed with cancer.
Wait, what? Go back.
lastly, former Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein was diagnosed with cancer. But the... But the good news for him is that he's set to star in the blockbuster Tumor vs Predator. You also could have had Finding Chemo or Forest Lump. So...
I thought Harvey Weinstein was already in prison though. It means it won't be that long then.
In November, Trump was elected as the 47th President of the United States. Sex offender...
Yep, he's back.
They hadn't received that many votes since Ronaldo won the Ballon d'Or. Although Kamala Harris had lost, she received kind words from Joe Biden, who said, "Runner-up in the election isn't bad for a DJ from Scotland." Calvin Harris, that's what I'm getting at there. Shit. He's old, he doesn't know what he's saying.
Yeah, look at it. Thanks,
YouTuber
Stephen.
Danny Aarons announced he was going to become a dad.
Yeah.
Although anyone who saw him box knew he couldn't protect his head. For Danny, fatherhood will be a big change.
Yeah.
He's still so young, he thinks having turkey teeth makes you Muslim. Inshallah, Danny. Gary Lineker announced he was leaving Match of the Day after a quarter of a century.
yeah.
He was quoted, "After 25 years, I'm looking for a fresh challenge. Like a 17-year-old with big tits." Oh, that's the wrong Lineker. Oh, well. And lastly, another OnlyFans star made headlines after having sex with 122 students in 3 weeks. That's cute, love. But David Cameron managed to fuck all of them when he tripled tuition fees. 50 grand I owe for a comedy degree. £50,000 to stand up here and talk about Prince Andrew fiddling kids. 50 grand for him to bloody hit the drum. He hasn't even graduated. 11 years.
Honestly, it's 50 grand well spent for Stephen because he's actually so good at this.
Ago we started.
Student lifestyle, baby.
Yeah, man. More recently, Greg Wallace was accused of making inappropriate comments and sexualised jokes during filming. He responded that no females had complained about him. In fact, the only time he'd heard a woman moan was when he was pumping them from behind. Oh, Greg. The CEO of United Healthcare was shot dead in New York. Silly goose, he should have taken cover.
Say that again?
New York. Goose, he should have taken cover. The CEO of United Healthcare was shot dead in New York. Silly goose, he should have taken cover. Yeah, it's cheeky that. And lastly, it wasn't just Destiny's Child that Jay-Z ruined, as he was accused of assaulting a 13-year-old with P. Diddy. However, he claimed it was blackmail. Oh, which one, mate? We're trying to catch a paedophile here. Anyway, guys, that has been the roast of 2024. Thank you very much. Good night.
He is actually so good. No, I could watch Stephen all day. He's actually so funny. Well, I think I'm going to leave it there. Thanks all very much for watching, all three of you, probably. And, yeah, comment down below if you want me to react to the other yearly roast that Stephen does. Peace.